All right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, and there he is. I pushed the button too quick, but you're on air in case you didn't know.
Okay, I'm working on my YouTube channel. I didn't realize.
I pushed because I'm kind of doing two things at once, and I pushed
so just do one thing. You suck at multitasking. I worked you in wrestling. You couldn't multitask your way out of a paper bag.
I'm not. I'm not really good at it. Sometimes you just have to admit some of the things that you're just not good at. One of them, one of mine, for the last couple of years, has not been picking football picks, but there he is, the bragging rights champion for 2026. It is the Podfather, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know, but I think I got a problem. These trophies are too nice. I'm sending you. They're too nice. I should send you just a piece of paper and put it in a frame and send it off. I actually spent money on this damn thing.
You should.
Yeah.
Very hot commodity here when it comes to making picks.
Hey man,
2 out of 3 years is not wrong, sir.
Yeah, well, sometimes luck has got a lot to do with it, Yeah,
for losers.
Yeah, but I'm only going to send you the actual trophy. I'm not going to send any shirts. You don't wear them anyway, so I'm not going to send those out to you.
But what are you talking about? I wear them out in public to promote your show.
You never wore one on this show.
I wore one on this show, but one time I did, but I wore them outside in public, everywhere.
Yeah. So you just don't wear them here.
Right. I have to advertise what I'm about here.
Gotcha. Anyway, good morning. By the way, hey, all right. So let's just start this out. I've been busy, working, the 5 days is killing the hell out of me, but I'm doing it anyway. But when I do have time to go through what's going on, man, the police Doppler is going off crazy right now, man. Is it? I cannot believe. I mean, let's see, James Harden with a gun, couple of football players doing stupid things, beating wives, I guess, or girlfriends, or whatever the case may be. Man, the offseason is not good for athletes. I swear to God, it's not. I mean, they don't have it. They don't have time to do anything but, do stupid things, whether it's, beat your girlfriend. How many times do athletes got to see that they are getting arrested for carrying guns? I mean, I'm sorry. This one, I mean, this is like a slap in the face. I mean, athletes and guns, they just don't mix very well. But I swear to God, it's just been kind of crazy. Just this past week, there's like 4 or 5 incidents with athletes and the police.
Well, look on the flip side of that. If you're a pro athlete, you're already living, on TV, and everybody sees you. Not everybody likes you, so there are those who want to take a poke at you. So, to have a gun to protect yourself, which is why you get a gun, I understand that. Now, if that's what he was doing, that's one thing. But if he was going around flashing that he has a gun and everything else, then that's a whole other issue. And then that just goes into the whole gun lobbying thing that we deal with the Congress every year. Every time there's a gun brought to a school. So I mean, it's a never ending cycle. And the thing is, a lot of these guys. I mean, look, I understand why these athletes go get bodyguards, why these guys go get people to take care of them, during the off season, because you never know, someone will take a poke at them.
Well, bodyguard would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, bodyguard, but exactly that way, someone else is, taking the shot. So I don't know, but just also Denver Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper and Los Angeles Rams offensive line Aldrich Jackson. Those two guys, they just got arrested for domestic abuse. They're knocking their women around, I guess, or whatever the case may be, or whoever that may be. I'm just
they're keeping their pimp hand strong, sir. That's all they're doing.
It's just like, hey, man, they're working. You know what it was is that they were working on some drills, and and it ended
they
up.
Got to show their wife that they have to show their wife that they're really doing a real job. It's kind of like when I used to be a truck driver, and my wife would say, "You're not really working. You're just sitting in the car all day."
Yeah, it's like,
I'll go. Sometimes you got to take your work home with you. Hey, did you hear about the latest news last night? 36-year-old Alden Smith passed away.
No, I did. I saw that. I woke up at 4 this morning and I was scrolling and I saw that this morning. Then I laid back down. But I did see that Alden Smith, yes, passing away. He was what, 39? Something
36.
36. Insane. Look at me. I'm almost 60, for God's sake.
I
don't know. I kind of definitely look that age. Anyway, that being said, did they say what it was about?
I didn't read that far into the thing. I just saw that he passed away, and I've heard the name because he's a former Cowboy,
right?
He's also former 49er, former Raider.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that he was now an ex-player at that point. So, you know, because I guess he was either a free agent or he just didn't really have a team at that point. So,
we're just seeing all this stuff. I mean, it's not. It seems like there's how do you say it? There seems like there's a rash of deaths happening. Oh my gosh, we've had that kind of crazy. You usually when someone passes away, you put it up and notice it, and you've been busy making the graphics.
Lance Rensel passed away, former Dallas Cowboy great. Of course, he was 82, so I mean that could happen anytime. He had a trouble pass, though. It's ongoing. It's funny because every year I keep thinking I'm going to do a death pool, see who's on the list to actually pass away. Now that Betty White's gone, I'm like, well, I mean, who else? Like William Shatner be up there because he turns 100 here soon. Mel Brooks would be up there.
I just saw him last. I went to a car show over here in Scottsdale, and he looks great, sounds great. So he's beginning to do what old people do. He's turning into creepy Shatner. This is why some of the things that he says, and he's getting a little bit, creepy. Women don't want to be around him too much because he's a little creepy. So
if women saw him, he kissed everything on Star Trek. I mean, green, red, it don't matter. I mean,
green woman.
He went after them all.
It's some green woman, so hey, it is what it is. By the way, also Claude Lemieux passed away. And I that one shocked me. In case you're not, by the way, tonight the Hurricanes could bring it home for the championship. Yes, I know, folks, we don't talk hockey because we didn't say their names. But tonight the Hurricanes try to wipe it out, and they're in Vegas, so Vegas has to win it to force a game 7 here. And that game will be Wednesday.
Speaking of winning, how happy is Bryc right now?
That's a good question. I haven't looked at his feed or anything. They won The championship. So and I haven't. I woke up at 4 o'clock, did a couple things. I laid my butt back in bed until about 20 minutes before the show. How's the rioting? Is there any rioting going on over in New York right
Not
now?
yet, not yet. But the parade hasn't started yet. So,
Well, no. Usually, if there's not any problems going on in New York, I'm going to give New Yorkers some credit because normally that goes on and it's usually immediate, afterwards. All it burned down last night is what it usually is when you see things like that.
it just comes down to this: we just can't have nice things in life.
Yeah, what can you do?
We just can't.
I actually now I'm real. I got to find out. New York. Let's see if they have anything.
I think everybody's perfectly watching the show just want this a little bit when you went forward.
Well, obvious. Oh my God, there has been.
Oh, there you go.
A school bus was set on fire. Multiple people arrested. A 17-year-old shot. So I take that back. Do better, New York. I mean, do better.
They're just keeping up with the Joneses, Sonny. Everybody who wins in a major city, they do shit like this. New York's saying, "Oh, we got to go big or go home."
Yeah, I get, especially since it's New York City. Yeah. So as far as the bus, I hope no one was hurt. 17-year-old was shot. I don't know what the update is. I just saw it on the thing, but I saw the picture of this bus on fire. And by the way, I have not. See, we're lucky to get your graphic in because my graphics stopped working right after I did that. So I don't my graphic maker. So. It obviously you cursed my damn software. I gotta figure out what's wrong with my software. Yeah, yours was the last one I made, so you cursed my software.
Blame that guy.
Hey!
Blame that guy.
So, anyway, I don't know if you could tell or not. I'm in a pretty good mood. I slept well. I slept a lot. But so I'm in a pretty good mood. But as far as what's going on in sports, there's been some interesting things happening in sports. Obviously, the police Doppler, it's on fire. It's working up there pretty good. And there's nothing like starting your day off with who's doing what and who's been arrested or whatever the case may be. But yeah, oh God, Alden Smith, that's just got me going on. So I guess I gotta say, and are you sick of Taylor Swift?
No.
I mean, evidently, and I don't know because I did not watch the Knicks win the but evidently, Taylor Swift was sidelined there with her guy. And after that and all the craziness that went on, I wonder how they got her the hell out of there along with, no one cares about Travis Kelce. I mean, really, to be honest, no one cares about him. But she is the only one that, but I mean, the security that had to be going on near her had to be huge, bigger than a lot of the times that they got going on there. So I'm just wondering, are you sick of seeing her? I mean, I don't know because I don't watch it, so I don't see it.
Here's the thing. She is America's sweetheart right now. Because first of all, she's a nice person. Let's get right down to it. She's a nice person.
Very gracious young lady.
And she's dating a football player, which is now engaged to him, right? And she's also seen with Randy Newman on the new Toy Story movie coming out. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is that she is in a very popular place that solely certain people get to be in. And yeah, she's thrown in front of us quite a bit where there are people who just tired of seeing that, just get all antsy and all caught up in their ways and get off my yard type people.
Yeah.
Who enough of this shit. Look, Taylor Swift is being Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we can bitch and moan all we want to. You remember the old Michael Jordan rule? every time he walks around, for like 1 hour, he's making X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money she's making on an hourly basis?
She's a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So she's
And
obviously doing something right, I guess.
man,
I would think.
I just cannot wait. I said this before. I cannot wait until her and Travis split up because I want to hear the next song about him.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
I want to know what the divorce settlement will be and what kind. There's gonna be a prenup. I'm almost, and if they're not, they're just so stupid. They're just too stupid to live if there's not a prenup. At least she is. Travis, he's making money outside. He's making money right and left, but definitely not Taylor. Good. Yeah, but the amount of Taylors compared to him, not so much. As far as that's concerned. But it's but the Knicks winning the championship. I mean, Bryce needs to be here because he would know the history. They haven't won this since the 70s, or either the 70s or 80s. So 70s. If it was the 70s, we're talking close to 45, well, actually close to 50 years since they won the damn thing. It's around about I don't know much about their roster. But if it just kind of wonders, are they going to go on the run? Are they going to go on the run and win a couple?
I know that Jalen Brunson's a former Maverick, and he wanted to go back to New York because his dad was coaching there at the time. So for him to go back home and actually win a title, I'm happy for him. I was kind of pulling for the Knicks because of that. Because being a Maverick fan, you don't really like San Antonio. You want to be the one. You want to be the one Texas team that stands out, and unfortunately, they have been for a little bit longer than the Mavericks. But the thing is, that San Antonio team is nothing to see. I mean, both teams can go on a run for the next couple of years. I mean, with Wemby with San Antonio, with Brunson with New York, the sky's the limit. Dude. Yeah, the sky's the limit.
I don't know. I don't understand. I saw also a news report, people throwing shit at him as he's going into the hotel and stuff. I'm just geez, why don't you leave these people alone? I don't get it. I mean,
if you remember, it was the same thing that CM Punk went through at WrestleMania.
Well, that's interesting that you bring that up, and we'll go into it because I'm actually really interested in your opinion about that. We haven't seen CM Punk since WrestleMania, and there's so many things that are being talked about as far as that is concerned.
Nobody knows.
Which no one really, like you said, no one really knows. We got a couple of people trying to report what the hell is going on.
Trying to be the insider when they're really not.
Yeah, exactly. However, sometimes they come out and they hit it on the head. Well, so I'm just kind of wondering.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He is 48 years old.
Yes.
He has put his body for the last year or so in front of the people without a break, except for the injury. I mean, he's been going in full throttle. Give him some time off. Right now, he's not needed. He's not needed on their programming right now. So take him off. This is an old rule that Jim Cornette used to say. How can I miss you if you don't go away?
Yep.
So that's what he's doing. He's going away. He's going to come back either before SummerSlam, after SummerSlam to make that run against Cody Rhodes, whatever the deal is going to be. Because they've been building Cody and Punk for it. You talk about long-term storytelling. Since him and Cody went face to face each other at the Rumble a few years ago, and that's what tore Punk's situation.
Right.
Before that happened, I mean, they were building up for that. And now that we've gone almost 3 to 4 years into that to build up for that, yeah, I mean, maybe now's the time for the payoff because, again, both guys are getting old. And, I don't think they got enough to re-sign another contract. So,
they might sign Cody. They might sign Cody.
They might.
But that's the big story about CM Punk, though, that the money in TKO, that's the quote-unquote rumors that are going on, whether or not and why we're not seeing, at least according to one of the rumors I read, and I actually read the whole damn article, they supposedly TKO is asking some of the wrestlers to take a pay cut and he's not very happy with the idea about the pay cut.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because here's the thing. Unless you're in that room, and I can say this about Dave Meltzer, and fuck Dave Meltzer, but until you're in that room and you're actually able to see what they're talking about, no one is tipping you off. No one is telling you, hey, this is what's really going on backstage. Look, if you're watching what you're seeing on TV, do you think everything you're seeing on TV is real when it comes to pro wrestling? It's not.
Exactly.
I mean, everything is worked to a certain extent. And even if there's a situation where the guy screws up and flubs something, they make up for that, and they have a reason for that. Look, CM Punk is 48 years old. He's taking time off to spend time with his wife. He's getting. I mean, AJ had signed that short-term deal to get the title, to drop it back to Becky. She was going away now. She might come back. She might not. Who knows? But let them have time to be with let them have time to be, Phil Brooks and whatever her real name is. That's fine. Then when he comes back, if he comes back, which I'm sure he will, they'll have something new for him. Because the one thing you don't want to do is drag out the same storylines again and again and again and again and again. Go away, build some talent up, bring him back, mix him in with the new talent, and then go from there. Otherwise, you have a still product.
Interestingly enough that you mentioned new talent. The new talent is Oba Femi. And I think this took off like a rocket. Of course, it's Brock Lesnar. I mean, so you're going to get that. And the rematch was extra to set up number 3 for this will take place in SummerSlam. They'd be stupid not to do it at SummerSlam.
Right.
So that's set up. But outside of what they're doing to get to that with Oba Femi, Oba Femi or Femi?
Sure.
Femi. Either one. What do you think of the direction as of right now of what they're doing with him to get them to that spot? Because this is a bridge, obviously. This is a bridge, but you also got to keep that bridge to a certain extent on a very high to keep the excitement about him, because sometimes the WWE knows how to screw that up really good, and all of a sudden no one knows who Oba Femi is anymore.
Well, if you take into consideration that you think wins and losses mean everything in wrestling, then you're only looking at it from that spectrum.
Right.
You have to look at this. When he's on TV, look at the drawing power he has. Look at the fans. They're not going to forget who he is right now. So that's not a problem. He can go out there and he can do his strut down to the ring. He's got the crowd doing it and everything else. He's demolishing people on TV constantly. They're trying to, again, you're building a monster, right? But you have to find a way to take the monster down whenever you can. Not every time, though.
Right.
I agree. You have to set up obstacles to bring him down. You can't do it every show, because if you do it every show, then it's a big mistake they made with the Big Show back in the day. When the Big Show was just too light on his feet and got off his feet way too many times for the bigger superstars to become, or even for Rey Mysterio to knock him down with a drop kick. I'm like, really? Rey? I love Rey, but Big Show is Big Show. He's 500 pounds. He's 7 foot tall. Rey is 5 foot nothing and only 143 pounds. Why is he knocking down the Big Show? But it didn't feel like it was a whole lot of work to that. You have to put in the work to get Oba down. Now Brock, like he says, a whole different beast, right?
Right.
And both of them are pretty much 1A and 1B. The difference is Oba. We've seen very limited amount of what Oba can do in the ring, which is probably a good thing. But then we see a very limited Brock Lesnar. So, right now we're working with the cards that are dealt right now. Brock Lesnar is still box office, okay? He is still a box office draw, one way or the
Absolutely.
other. With or without the title, don't matter. But you bring him back sparingly. You bring him back when it's necessary. Oba's the guy you're building up. Does he take the loss to Lesnar? Sure, they're 1-1. Great. Give us SummerSlam. Give us a bigger stage. You went WrestleMania. You've gone in between. Now give us SummerSlam. Let Oba. I mean, I'm pretty sure Oba will get his finish on that, which is fine because again, Brock likes him. Brock really likes the kid.
Yeah,
and he's willing to work with him.
And he don't like anybody.
No, I mean, I know he likes John Cena, and I know he likes certain guys that he came up with back in the day, and that have worked wonders with him. But at the same time, you're talking about what is pretty much a 7-minute match, and what is also going to be a very limited move set for anything. And but again, you're talking about that box office draw, that main event feel, the thing that feels very organic, not set up because we want to get here. So I really do think that I think they should only have 3 matches and be done with it. No more after that. I don't think put a stipulation with a cage or a false count anywhere. None of that shit really matters. If you gimmick up a match, if you gimmick up a main event like that, you've kind of taken away the luster of the main event. Both guys have had 2 matches that have been just regular matches. Have one more, let it be what it is, and then you go from there. I'm not worried about them dropping the ball on Obafemi. They say I do it too, Obafemi, but because Oba and
Oba.
Oh yeah. When I have no problem. I don't think I'm gonna drop the ball on him. I just think that we're so impatient as fans. We want to see more. We want to see the towel around. We want to see this. It's the same argument I always hear about LA Knight, right? Everybody thinks that Paul Heyman. That Paul Levesque hates LA Knight. Will never give him the world title. Does LA Knight need a world title? I mean, not everybody gets to be heavyweight champion. I'm sorry. Not everybody gets to be a heavyweight champion. You're a heavyweight champion if you have drawing power. LA Knight is in that situation where he draws his fans. Does he draw outside the spectrum? That's the thing. Can he reach beyond his own people to bring in more people? That's what a champion does. A champion brings eyes to your product. LA Knight does not bring eyes to WWE. I'm sorry. He's a great talent. He's got a great gimmick, and you know what? He's great for the spot that he's in. But I don't think that he's going to be that. I don't think he's the one that's going to sit there and elevate the roster to try to go above. I mean, look, you can risk the same problem you have with a Jey Uso.
Right.
Give him the belt way too early. Wasn't prepared for the spotlight, and then within a month or 2, he lost the belt.
Oh yeah, he's steamed out.
Yeah. I don't think LA Knight will steam out, but I just think the thing is, he's good for the intermediate titles, the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, stuff like that. But world title, I mean, not everybody should always get to be world champion. You have to be that for something special. Okay, I mean, case in point. Okay, LA Knight or CM Punk. Who do you pick?
Well, we know who draws more.
Oh no! Answer the question. LA Knight or CM Punk?
CM Punk, definitely.
Okay. LA Knight or Brock Lesnar?
Exactly, Brock Lesnar.
Okay. LA Knight or Roman Reigns?
I don't know his fan base, but I would guess the way you're talking, it would be Roman Reigns. I don't know his fan base.
Right.
Really well.
Now, if you have the idea of LA Knight and Solo Sikoa.
Well,
then there's your argument.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, that the problem with that, and it's not LA's Knight's fault per se. It's just that he was never really in any spotlight on what he did, and he's not the youngest dude out there. He's in his late 40s as well. And you didn't get to see him on that stage. Like CM Punk, of course, we've seen him on that stage for many years. This guy just came out of TNA and doing everything that he did. He was wrestling around, but there were no eyes on it to know that, except the few that got in there and then of course the build when he gets to the WWE. So which, by the way, thank God they took him out of that photo guy. He's the model guy or whatever the hell that was. It's a good thing they took him out of that, or he would have steamed out a long time ago. So that actually worked per se. But the LA Knight, I would like to see LA Knight hold one of the other titles for a long time, in order for them to put him in that position, in order to get the other eyes up on him. Wow, he's the champion now. Keep him there for a while before you, and then obviously you're going to have him lose against whoever's there, but then have the repeat roll around, try to get him the second or third time. But he's no spring chicken. You got to watch out, and he's getting close to being injury prone as well.
Well, I mean, I think the ultimate test right now is, okay, take LA Knight, take Dom Mysterio. Who would you want to see as your world? If you're going to make one more world champion?
I'm trying to find me a Dominic Mysterio shirt. I'm
right.
just telling you now. I love me some Dom. I love me some Dom.
But here's the thing, though.
But Dom they're not using him right now. That's interesting too.
No, well, they are.
Kind of wonder what's in the. It makes you kind of wonder what that payoff is going to be for him.
Well, I mean, they're utilizing him for more of the AAA thing. So,
yeah, I get.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, the Undertaker is just kicking it down there, isn't he?
El Jefe's got it made, sir. But I mean, but going back to the whole LA Knight and Dominic Mysterio, you put the belt on Dominic Mysterio, you're getting everybody to try to get the belt off of him because you hate him that much.
Yep.
You put the belt on LA Knight. That's nice. It's good for him. Who's going to beat him for the title? Somebody.
That's where the writing comes in play. They gotta, LA Knight can only take him as far as what they're going to put in front of him to try to sell what he is, and that's what creative is. That's their job. LA Knight, he can make the suggestions and stuff and try to go with stuff, but normally that comes out of that room with the four walls on it, man. And how they're going to pursue it, are they going to pursue it, should they pursue it, all that stuff's being discussed in that room,
right? So, but again, that's their room to decide that. That's not, I mean, that's us as armchair quarterbacks sit there and go, man, they're burying LA Knight. No, they're not. It's stupid. Again, people who've never been in the business will sit there and say that somebody's getting buried. That's funny. That's funny to me because you and I have sat there at ringside and called matches. Not once did we ever think that the guy who was going to lose to the champion was getting buried.
No.
It just that the champion was there to bury everybody, so he was going to do it no matter what.
Regardless who ended up there.
Yeah, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, and we've seen examples of that many times, just to get a payoff for somebody else. You got to have those guys in there, which is interesting to me is that I think we're going to see Dolph Ziggler back. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Okay? Because he is your perfect guy to get him from there to there, because he does have a little bit of star power. Now, granted, he's doing what he's doing in TNA. I've been watching him.
He's a bigger star in TNA right now, yeah.
Exactly. But that guy, first of all, everybody likes Dolph Ziggler, good or bad Ziggler. Mm-hmm. People like that guy. So I think we're going to see him back there so he can have to carry it, which, by the way, he loves doing that. These guys who know the wrestling business and know what it's about. Now, granted, the paycheck has got to be there. Don't get me wrong, because he is a guy that is going to demand some money, but at the same time, that in the payoff for whoever that setup will be perfect for that. And I even heard that they're trying to bring back. I don't know. I think I'm done with Braun Strowman. I'm not a believer because we don't see him, and I didn't buy him the last time he came back. But Strowman was supposedly in line to take on Oba. interestingly enough, I mean, he's a big guy and a big, yeah, I don't know, but the star power, just what you're talking about. Braun Strowman never put another extra, seat in there except maybe a couple hundred of his personal friends. I don't think.
He took one of them out of a seat to become tag team champions with him one time. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, it was at WrestleMania a couple years ago where a kid from the who was a referee's
That's
kid,
right. It was
came
a kid.
into the ring and won the tag team titles with him.
Just like that was stupid. I hated that one, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, they couldn't even push at that and make that sell. I don't know. I'm not a Braun.
You know what?
I like Braun Strowman personally. I've met him. I don't think you were with me when I met him. I don't think you were with me when I met him. Hell of a nice guy, but
the thing is this. When we look at guys like Braun Strowman, like the Big Show, like not even over Finn because he's not that tall, but guys who are 7 foot tall, right? We're looking at them like they're Andre the Giant because it's an extraordinarily huge athlete who can do things that not normal human beings can do. There's only one Andre, and that was a different time. Andre came up, if Andre came up in this time frame, would have been.
He wouldn't be a star,
huh?
He wouldn't be a star.
Well, I mean, if you take 70s Andre and put him in today's climate, he still would have been a star. You put in mid 80s Andre, not so much.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the time frame with Andre was so short for what you're in for. We're getting the Big Show all along. When we got Andre the Giant. We got Braun Strowman all along when we got Andre the Giant. So the thing is that what Braun's doing right now with the whole going to restaurants and trying all the everything off the menu.
Like a television show, right?
That works for him. He's got great personality. He's got a great speaking ability to talk about what he's really into. That's great. Wrestling opened the door for him on that. Does he need to go back to that? I don't think so. I don't really think so because
unless they use him in TNA, I think that's the only place they could maybe work him a little bit better. Because listen, Braun Strowman, it's not the fact that he's old. It's just that he can't keep up with these younger cats in there right now. And then you throw the health problem. As soon as he signs a contract, it's going to be in the millions of dollars. And the next thing you know, that guy's going to be on the sideline because he got hurt. Like the last 2 times they signed him to contracts in the WWE. So I think they definitely have got their eyes going, no,
well, I mean,
are we going to throw $2 million for the guy to show up twice?
If you watch the one of the post shows they did after I think it was Mania, they had Paul Heyman was up there and he came out and just said, "Hey, you talk about all you want. Braun Strowman sucks," and he
makes you think about the setup for that, right?
Right. So I'm like, maybe Heyman knows more than we know. Just saying.
Or maybe he's setting him up to come back. Too, you never know. But
that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago. I don't think he's setting them up at that point.
But interesting that you get guys like a Paul Heyman, and as soon as the guy says a name, then all of a sudden everything starts shredding. That just goes to show the impact of that guy. By the way, and I know I'm in the minority in this. I did not like him ever until the last 10 to 15 years. I never liked him. Just, I'm not going to take away from everything that he did or, before he got to doing what he was doing with Brock. I just wasn't, this was that Johnny what was his name? Dangerously or something like that? Paulie Dangerously. Yeah. Back in the day. So I wasn't necessarily an ECW fan. There were a few guys that some people don't even know Daniel Bryan was over in ECW for a while. I didn't even know that. I just tripped on that. There's just some guys that spend a little time in that, not Daniel Bryan. Oh shit, I'll remember it. But But there's been a lot of guys that have been in ECW. Stone Cold Steve Austin. People don't know that before he got to the WWE and left WCW, he did a stint in there. Of course, that was a pretty good setup for what he was going to do for his future. But there again, Paul Heyman grabbing up that guy that he saw that could be, and he didn't even have to wrestle at that time. He was hurt.
He couldn't. He was
Yeah,
hurt.
he was hurt, and they just used him as a mouthpiece, which in turn he learned. Even he was good before, but he just got better. I'll give that all to Heyman, because Heyman knows how to get you to talk. You can talk, but can you talk about the right things? And Paul Heyman usually got you to talk about the right things. So interesting. I just, gosh, I love it. I haven't had time to go through what has been going on, but I want to get back to AEW and Chad Gable. You want to talk about
AEW, Chad Gable,
or AAA? I'm sorry, AAA, Chad Gable, and the cool payoff that actually did, because everybody hated him for what he was doing and everything. But the Undertaker setting that, I don't know how much he's actually involved.
He's a booker
with that. He's the booker. He did one hell of a job booking that up there, because now I don't watch. Well, sometimes I do. It just depends on what I'm doing. But I actually made it a point to go to YouTube, find that match and watch it. That's what he's doing. He is booking the hell out of AAA, and I'm going to tell you right now, NXT has got a little competition. I love the competition within the business of the WWE.
And look at that, you got Shawn versus Taker again.
Yes, exactly.
How awesome is that?
Yes, and not only that, I get to hear my guy. I know a lot of people don't like him. Corey Graves. Love me some Corey Graves, and I get Corey Graves whenever I watch AAA.
Corey Graves and JBL. So I mean, and JBL brings it too.
I love JBL. I always love JBL, and I always love the line that gets me every single time. And he, when you don't expect it, says it, the flying goat. I almost fell out of my chair every time he said it. His timing on what he does for JBL is awesome, and I love that broadcast team. I do. Well, I guess it's because of what you and I do. Some people don't even give a rat's fat ass about that, but I see the broadcast, and they took that one dude that I don't like out, and he's just doing basically the pregame shows and postgame shows, which is fine. That's where he should be. And I never had a problem with that idea, but calling play-by-play that guy, and I'm glad they got him out. We were just talking about that 2 months ago, and they just
he's still doing play-by-play for SmackDown now.
Is he still doing SmackDown?
Yeah, still doing SmackDown.
Well, the last time I watched it, he wasn't on it.
He was on this past week.
Well, I haven't watched it in a couple weeks. I kind of go on a roll, and I'll watch about 3 or 4 of them right in a row. But no, it was what's his nose that was there. But that being said, will he be top 10 for the storytelling? Yes. And I'm glad he said top 10.
Yeah, because I mean, again,
but not number one, not number two.
What Paul Heyman's doing is now cool. You got to look back to the days when Bobby Heenan was running.
Exactly.
Bobby Heenan,
the man,
always worked against the champion. He always found the guy to go against the champion. Heyman kind of came in and just took on the guy who was champion in a lot of cases. Heyman's great. Don't get me wrong. He's a great speaker. He's a great orator. He's great, and he's great in throwing out ideas. I'm sure he didn't do all that, but it's apples and oranges in some cases, right? And so it's all very subjective as well. Paul
Very
Heyman.
subjective.
I mean, Paul Heyman took what his failures from ECW and turned them into positives in WWE, and it took time. It took a lot of time. It took a couple firings for that to happen because he was there before and was doing great with SmackDown back then, but Stephanie didn't like him.
Yep.
Now Stephanie loves him, and it just, I mean, you know, it just the thing is that you in this business you grow through your failures more than anything else. Your successes mean nothing.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I think Paul Heyman. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He's already gonna be remembered as one of the all-time greats, regardless of what number you put him at. You know, the thing is that he'll always be in the conversation as far as what he meant. Think about this though: Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette came up at the same time.
Right.
Both went off and did the same thing. You know, Jim Cornette took care of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Paul Heyman took care of ECW. Jim Cornette retired out of the business because he got tired of it.
Yes.
He got tired. He got tired of chasing crowds, pretty much. Paul Heyman is still in the fight. Doesn't take away from Jim Cornette being like one of the greatest of all times, but you think about his exposure to dealing with that kind of pressure on a day-to-day basis. Like Heyman's done it forever.
Right.
Cornette did it till he couldn't take it no more. So,
and that was on the territory level, by the way.
Even in WWE, I mean, he only take Vince for so long, and I mean, like, you know, in coming back, if he was ever
there's
asked
a lot of
back,
people that will say that too.
Yeah, I mean, he came back to TNA for a second to work with Bruce Pritchard, and that lasted all but like 2 TV tapings. You know, so I mean, there's a lot to be said about. And like I said, it's all very subjective, right? You know, who you think is the number one guy out there, you know? And the thing is, it's so, I mean, like, you know, you sit there and go, who's the greatest wrestler of all time? Is it Hulk Hogan? Well, hell no, he's not a great wrestler. No, but he's a box office draw. Well, you got me on that. But okay, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sure, but was he a great wrestler?
It's so subjective, though. Yeah.
Right. So, and the thing is, he can be a great wrestler. It doesn't make you a great pro wrestler, though. But you can be a great pro wrestler, but not a great wrestler. So it depends how you look at it. It really does. I mean, if you want to put,
well, it's changed, hadn't it, Podfather?
It's changed, but more has stayed the same.
You had to be a wrestler before you became a character. Now, if you're a character before you get there, just throw a name out, Logan Paul. He was a character before he got there. So it's a little bit different. You say it all the time. Okay, who gives a real rat's fat ass if you can wrestle or not? What can you do to draw the fans? What do you do to get people that hate you, like you, or whatever the case may be?
I mean, if you go there and put out a wrestling match and people look at their phones, who gives a shit?
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, again, I could be tuned into our show and go, so,
oh, I do that sometimes, even when I'm talking.
Right. But the thing is, you do that, but that means you're not engaged.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. The fan engagement towards a match has to be based on what those two guys are doing in the ring to draw you in. Exactly. If it can keep you away from reaching for your phone, that's a plus.
Right.
And indie guys, that's why they do all the flippity flop bullshit to get the holy shit type thing. That thing that's what draws. No.
Right.
No, it's not what draws.
It may draw his buddies.
Listen. I love the late great Jason Silver. He was an independent guy down Dallas. He died not too long ago.
I remember his name. I never met him.
He would do a lot of crazy ass shit to get the crowd remembering him, and we remembered him from all that crazy shit. But when you had 4 or 5 other guys trying to do the same thing in the show, it takes away from that one special kid. And what made him special for me was the fact that he would come to shows just he would uninvited and say, "Hey, I'm here to help y'all out if you want me to. I got my stuff in the car if you need me." That was always good. You know, I don't think Bobby ever used him for that, but I know.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. He never wrestled as far as I remember.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did sore. I know he did. I know he did NAWA. I know he did DCW. I know he did the Pro Wrestling Religion. And I know for a fact he did Texoma Pro Wrestling, but I don't remember him ever doing SOAR. But yeah, I mean, it was some good stuff, and and again, those are the kind of guys you want to have. Now the problem is though is that you can be Jason Silver, the kid a very lanky, skinny looking kid, a kid who looks like he's your next door neighbor can mow your yard if you want him to, or you can be Barrett Brown, who's put in the look, put in the effort, and did all this stuff, and does all the flippity flop stuff that can wear and tear on your body, but you still draw that charisma from what you have. That's what he was able to do. That's what separates Barrett and Jason from each other.
I wish Barrett would get the shot, and also Izzy. I wish they'd get the shot.
Barrett won't get the shot because of his size. They already have Rey Mysterio.
It's still a wand.
They've utilized him several times, but at Hall of Fames and at backstage stuff. Him and Izzy James had a tag team match against some guys on Raw years ago.
Yeah,
I mean it happens, but just because you
staying power. That's all I wish they get lucky to get that staying power. So I look at a guy like Barrett and Izzy, looking just at these what they put into what they do and how long they've done it. I mean, they've been doing it for forever. And by the way, I noticed Montez Ford using a move that the first time I ever seen it was at Sormania, where he's going over the side of the corner of the ring, up and over, and landing on them. We saw that the first time I ever saw that was Christian. I forget his name. Redhead dude. Yeah, he's a redhead. He's kind of a redhead dude. But the first time I saw it, I flipped out. I got it somewhere in my archives of the stuff. But it was a great match. And I forget, if I'm not mistaken, it was with Wade or not with Barrett. It was with Barrett Brown. As far as that match was concerned, what a great match. But I've seen Montez Ford kind of do that. And so then I look, they are slowly phasing out the Street Profits and trying to put the spotlight a little bit on Montez Ford, which it usually ends up the other guy. What's his name? I forget his name, but I see him. It's right there.
Dawkins.
Dawkins, yes, I like Dawkins. But I like him a lot. But I don't know, can he survive by himself? I mean, I think Ford's going to be just fine if they write and do everything right for him. But Dawkins, that takes a lot of work to write, I think.
It's like Mario Jannetty, Not so much you can do with Mario Jannetty back in the day. You put him with Sean, that's one thing, but you take Sean away from Marty's just Marty.
Yeah.
Dawkins might just be Dawkins. Or, the thing is, this is where Dawkins needs to find out, how do I survive here? What do I need to change? What do I need to do to impress the people who are writing this shit? Because if they don't, because the biggest weakness a wrestler has is the pin.
Absolutely.
And if you're not written into the storylines, you're not written on TV, and you're under contract, you can't go nowhere. That's the mental wear and tear on you on that is bigger than the wear and tear physically, because now you're sitting there and you're having all these bad thoughts about the company you're working for. You're having all these bad thoughts about the people who are in charge. Never mind the fact that maybe you're the reason why they're not doing that. You look at the idea that they're fucking me over.
Yep.
And and people who sit at home who are armchair quarterbacks, they eat that shit up. They're fun. They're gonna be as awful. He's going to AEW. Like AEW's gonna do anything better with him. Okay. I mean, the thing is, the fact that you have TNA, right? That they trying to break them up, but Forrest said no. You know what? Maybe not. But the thing is, if Ford wants to become Intercontinental Champion, Heavyweight Champion, maybe Dawkins could be his bodyguard.
Exactly. Or set him up for later. Get rid of him. Pink slip his ass now. 4 or 5 years, wherever Montez Ford is, bring him back as the attacker to take it away. And then there's a natural. There is a natural fight for it. Heyman does this all the time.
Yeah, or
Heyman sees what's going on, but Heyman goes 2 or 3 years down the road to bring it if it needs to. You bring him back, and that could be a good setup for him as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, but the thing about the Usos is they're twins. Ford and Dawkins are not twins, so I mean, you know, Jay is always going to be tired of Jimmy no matter what. You know, same thing.
The problem, though, Jimmy is nowhere without him, though, and we've seen that just within the last 2 years.
Honestly, if I was at the I'd reach out to TNA right now and say, listen, we got Dawkins over here.
Yeah.
What do you say we throw him? What do you say we throw you him? Maybe y'all give us somebody, whatever the deal is. Y'all develop him as a singles guy. Okay? Let's see how he does. If he takes over TNA, great. But let's see how he does, and then we can bring him back in about a year or two when people have forgotten about him up here. Bring him up here and let him go up against Ford, and let's let the two guys go at it.
Exactly.
I mean, get them
that
away.
Relationship is great for that, by the way.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, get him off your programming, but keep him relevant and keep his body going because you still got him under contract. But also the thing is, you're still paying him to go out there and do things, not as a TNA. So if TNA gets him for free, oh God, yeah.
Or switch out, bring back Dolph.
Right. Well, I mean, that is if Dolph wants to go up there. I mean, that's the other thing.
That's true too. Depends on. We don't know what's going on in the background on the reason why. I was actually shocked that he left, but when I saw him on, by the way, TNA needs to get away from that group that is supposedly leading that. It's ruining the damn show. It's making to a point where I haven't watched TNA in the last month. I haven't watched it for the last month because I don't like that part of the section. I'll turn it off. I'll be done with it. I want the whole show. I don't, and when one part of the show is that bad,
why?
I don't know. I won't watch it because there's too much of them. There's too much of them. I think they ought to get Bo Leave back over there is what they ought to do. That would be what I would, after they skinned his ass and gave him the pink slip. So
yeah, again, it wasn't a major loss for him. So
no, it wasn't, but that could have been a lot bigger than what it ended up being, for God's sake.
Yeah, but the thing is, you
horrible writing on that, by the way, just horrible writing.
Maybe horrible writing. The thing is, that works with only one person, Bray Wyatt. He ain't here anymore.
Right. Exactly.
So and I mean, his brother is great for what he does, but at the same time, maybe it just wore its course. Maybe we want to see Bo Dallas become the better Bo Dallas he needed to be, not Howdy or whatever the fuck his name was, Uncle Howdy. So I don't know. I mean,
I loved him. Bo Leave. I'm telling you right now, Bo Leave. I stood, and maybe it was me, but I watched.
It must have just been you because no one else gave a shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They got the wrong. They got the wrong guy watching them, So I love me some Bo Dallas. I wanted to get the problem is they don't make those shirts in 4X anymore. It's just like, damn, I'd have me a Bo. I'd have me a Bo Leave.
I got a guy that'll make one for you.
Yeah, I love those Bo Leaves. But now I want to just hop back to a little bit of what you were saying about 10 minutes ago. Guys that could carry it, guys that get it, guys that bring the people to it. Going back to the fact that they really can't wrestle. But the other guy the guy that sells it, Ric Flair, sells it. That is a guy, listen, average at best in the ring. And if everybody wants to call me a hater, fine. He was. However, being thrown off of the corner of the ring and never hitting anybody or getting thrown after he goes up there, no one does that better. But it's a matter of and I think a lot of young people and the younger talent need to look at, yes, you can wrestle. This is fantastic. The physical specimen that you are is wonderful. But how many wrestling promotions, smaller wrestling promotions, have guys that are out there doing it and actually look good, but they don't have anything to bring but the wrestling?
Zack Sabre Jr., perfect example.
I agree.
Great wrestler, but no personality.
No.
Or if he has one, we never see it.
Bret Hart could wrestle with the best of them, but zero charisma.
No, and the thing is, he doesn't understand that either. But
well, that's the part he doesn't get. He thinks it's more about the ability of wrestling than it is about everything else, and everything else is at least 75% of what people are looking for.
Sonny, shut up. I hate that WWE moved over from up to the main card without doing anything with. They're giving him Brock Lesnar. They're giving him the biggest beast of all. They're giving him a certified box office draw. I mean, things they're giving him. They're not gonna give you the entire story at the beginning of the show, the middle of the show, and the end of the show. They're giving you months, because they only have months with Brock. So they're spacing it out for big events. Remember, what you're seeing now with these guys, you're not seeing them on a week-to-week basis, pushing the storylines forward by having a match. No, they're doing it through their talking. They're doing it through sporadic matches that will get them to where they did that in the old days. Because normally you'd see them on the house shows. Now there's no more house shows, but they're saving their bodies up for something bigger. That could be detrimental in some cases. That could be helpful because your body's not used to the hitting the boards. But at the same time, it's also beneficial because you're not walking around there with torn ligaments in your knee, but having to keep on wrestling because your spot could be taken from you.
Yeah, so exactly.
There's a lot to that. Look, if you're only looking at Oba Femi based on the fact that he got the Andre the Giant award and that's it, you ain't watching wrestling. I'm sorry. All you're doing is sitting there picking, choosing what you like and what you don't like.
Well, hold on. Now that's a true statement of what you said, but it's not fair because because a normal fan of wrestling don't think about wrestling as deep as we do or know how the business works. They just tune in to see what they want to see. So that's not necessarily fair.
You want me to get on my high horse here and let me have my fun?
I was gonna
I'm going to cut a promo on this guy. Okay? Let me tell you something, Anthony. I'm going to come at you right now. No, just kidding.
But, but back to that is I hope they don't ruin Nova. I hope
that's
they don't.
True. He cannot wrestle.
Now I don't know if he can wrestle. I haven't seen enough for him to wrestle. He can do a few moves or everything. Listen, Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi is not going to be a Broadway show. Okay, that's not what that is. But people like to see Oba now, and in Anthony's side of it, he's a little more invested in it because people who like to see that quick stuff, how it works, will watch AEW. You got a better chance of seeing it. However, this one here is a work in motion, and it's not going to be something that you're going to see in the WWE with that quick thing. They just have never done that. And whenever they did, it never worked. Now, I don't know if that was because of a Vince thing in the past or what it is or the idea, but just think about one guy, Gold Dust. Think about what that guy was. That guy wasn't a super. I mean, look what they threw Dustin Reynolds through before they got to it. And I'm telling you right now, I don't believe for 1 second that this was not a job at Dustin Rhodes with the Gold Dust thing. I'm not going to believe it. This was a shot at him, but what ended up happening is people grew to love Gold Dust, but that didn't happen in 2 or 3 weeks. Obafemi, yeah, it got that fanfare within 1 day, and that's one shot against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar had to walk him through it to teach him exactly what is going to sell. And the foot on the chest, Oba didn't know that what needed. Oba didn't know he needed to do that. You watch the lips on Lesnar, you can see put your foot on my chest. You could actually see him do that. So the bring up, I think, is important, and I get it, and I see why bringing them up too early kind of turns people off. But
well, you're thinking about
and that's a valid point too about the bloodline.
But but it keeps changing. Though that's the best thing about the bloodline. It's not staying the same. But exactly. The thing is, though, is that with Goldust, understand this. At that time, he was still Dusty. He was still Dusty Rhodes' kid.
Yes.
And he was still living in the shadow of Dusty Rhodes.
Absolutely.
Goldust is a way for him to get outside of that shadow.
Yep.
And not be the American Dream son. So he took a character that nobody was comfortable with at that time. And made it his own. It did have a shelf life. Not gonna lie, it had a shelf life. It couldn't have kept on going and going and going. That's why it got stale for a while, and they kept trying to change it.
Right.
But had he been Goldust for 2 years, then went away, then came back as Goldust, a different type of Goldust.
Right.
I think we could have said something different, more positive about Dustin Rhodes' Goldust character than we can now, because the way Vince kind of skirted that thing around with changing it all up and having him wear different types of outfits and everything else, I think it really ruined the character, and it ruined Dustin for a little bit because because it took him over to WCW and he became Sin or Seven or whatever the fuck he became, and and that didn't work out either over there. So I mean, he was lost. He's also doing a lot of drugs at the same time. He was drinking a lot. Him and Marlena were having issues, or Terry Reynolds. So they're having their own set of issues. So there was a lot going on in Dustin Rhodes' life before all this was going on. So to say this could have saved it, I don't know. I don't think at that point anything was going to save it, because these guys deal with so many demons, so many demons that you and I can never possibly understand. Yeah. And I mean, we all have our shares of hiccups in life, right? Life throws us curveballs no matter what. I'm dealing with one right now with my ex-wife, whatever she is, with her having a stroke and having to clean the house out and go down to go 70 miles south to clean up a house that's not even has stuff in there that's not even mine, and just doing all that crap. We all have to go through these kind of ordeals, right? And Dustin went through his own share of it. So to sit there and go, well, this didn't work because of that. Again, it's what we see on TV. It's not what we're going to see. What are they doing with LA Knight? We just
missed. You joined a little late. We kind of talked about that.
Right. But no, I think with LA Knight, look, real quickly, LA Knight is a great second tier human being. He is not main event caliber. Sorry, just time has passed him by, in my opinion. Is he great? Sure. Just because you're great doesn't make you a world champion. So, that being said, going back to Goldust, look, the man went through hell back in the day. He turned it around. He's living his best life now in AEW. Good for him. And I think for that being said, I mean, we've talked more wrestling on this show today than we have in a long time. It's the off season, so yeah.
Hey, it's off season. That's what we do. We talk about, and plus it's been on my mind too. So It is. But just to let you know, for programming, I'm gonna break your heart here, but I do have to leave in 22 minutes. I got something I got to do in 22 minutes. Short show. Sure, sure, definitely short. But hey,
So,
you can get a nap in. You know, hey, you can get it
I've
set.
already done all that. I already done all that
It's
now,
just-
but all you can do is hurt my own programming on the Podfather Network. So
There you go. There you go. That having been said, let's get to this. So we did not get the opportunity to talk about this last week. You know, and I think when you see these teams, these are the teams that are quote unquote on the up and coming. They are not the teams that you got to beat per se, or you're thinking automatic championship running in there. These are the teams, including the 49ers, because they kind of slid back a little bit last year. So, first of all, if you're a fan of these teams, when you see the schedule, you want to be a Baltimore Raven fan in reality because
right,
when I look at it, oh my God.
they're 6-0 at that
And
point.
if you can't if you can't get out of that at least 4-2, the Baltimore Ravens don't have a chance. However, week 3 is an important game for them. And that being said, because depending on what you think about the Colts, you know, all those other ones, they're trash right now. The only one that has an opportunity to be, you know, that curveball that's going to go and you're going to swing and miss is the Dallas Cowboys. And in a week 3, you're just now realizing, well, they're not there yet. But week 3, you're still trying to find the guys who are going to be there and be your cornerstone for the next 8 or 9 weeks. This is a perfect timing game for both of these football teams. And I'll say this for you. It's not who wins this game. It's how they win or how they lose is the big point in that one with Baltimore.
Well, I mean, just look at the schedule. I mean, okay. If we're for armchair quarterback, picking these games right now, the Ravens are 6-0. Just in my opinion. Look at the Colts. They lose to the Ravens. They lose to the Chiefs. They possibly beat the Houston team. I can see them losing to Washington. I can see them beating the Steelers. I can see them beating the Tennessee. So that's 3-3.
Well, that's only if Daniel Jones turns around and is the same guy as he was last year, coming off of a season-ending injury.
Right. Okay. See the Steelers. They beat the Falcons. They lose to the Patriots. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Browns. But they lose to the Colts. And I'm gonna say they lose to the Bucks.
I think they lose to the Bucks. Now the Bengals, that'll depend if that's a home game. I'll give them the Bengals if it's the home game.
All right. Look at the Niners. They got LA. They lose that game. They go to Miami. They win that game. They go to the Cardinals. They win that game. They go to the Broncos. They lose that game. They go to the Seahawks. They lose that game. They go to Washington. They win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So 3-3 there. So then you got the Buccaneers. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Browns. Vikings beat them. Green Bay. That's gonna be a tough one. Shit.
I give them the L in that one.
Okay. Let's give them the L. I give them the win over the Cowboys. As of right now, based on the Dallas defense last year. Then I got to
pick them.
I had the Steelers. I had the Steelers beating the Bucks, didn't I?
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Okay.
You had the Colts beating the Steelers.
So it's amazing. Out of everybody here, the Ravens are the team that can finish 6-0. The rest of them are pretty much 3-3.
Yeah, they're gonna. And as the graphic says, you got to get off to a good start if you're any of those teams. I think the Baltimore Ravens have the better shot based upon the schedule. Obviously, the shot. It's almost like a spot. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that having been said, I think this is an interesting graphic. I think there's other teams that are going to have their problems. I think that as far as that, I that will back it up there because I saw the question. Do you think Solo will go back?
I'll talk about that here in a second.
Well, I'll just tell you.
Once you get the graphic off, I'll talk about it.
Give me a second. And no, do you think Pittsburgh could
I'm in
win 5
football.
of 6?
I'm in football
The
mode right
answer's
now,
no.
so I have to get back into wrestling mode.
Hold on. Let me just hit the button there. All right, I was in the other side.
I think you know what, I can see it happening. It'll cost somebody else. Because again, it comes down to who does Roman want to have on his side, as long as he's champion. Because if he brings in Solo, he brings in that entire crew.
Or they get rid of the crew because they're really not much of anything. That also being said, that Solo needs to worry about his job because that group that he's got going on, they haven't created anything that really jumps into that. But if they can turn Jacob, it should be easy to turn Solo if they're going to go that route.
Right. Here's the thing, though. Solo's got some charisma about him. He's got some personality. He's got something they can use. And whereas the other guys behind him, not so much.
Not much.
But they can benefit from just joining the bloodline with Roman there. Maybe that sends, because again, do you want the Usos to be a good guy or a bad guy? Right now they're working kind of hillish.
They're kind of riding the fence, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. So again, I think they excel better as baby faces than they do as heels. Together, even separately, just because the crowd gets into the whole eat thing and everything else, and you don't want to give up on that.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Don't worry about that. It's important. It's important to them, all right? But no,
I don't even know what a yeet is.
I personally think Solo joining is not a bad thing. It depends if they don't have the infighting in the group. If they have the infight, then there's no point in him joining if there's infighting in the group. He has to be bought in 100%. And because for Roman to stay at the top where they want to keep him at until further notice, because I don't see either one of the guys ever beating him for the belt. So
not Jacob or him, no,
not really, not even Jay. So I think you have to keep the infighting down to a bare minimum, if best, if none at all. But I think it would benefit Solo. Because again, it will give the idea for the crowd, what is his alternative motive? What if he has none? What if he does? I mean, it's how they write it. So,
exactly. It's basically all about writing. So it's just got to be one of those things. But back to that, you don't think Pittsburgh can win 5 of 6? No, I don't think they can. I'll bring it back up. I don't think they can.
I mean,
they'll just see. Here's the problem with the Steelers: they're not dominant, guys. Really, if you look at it, they're 50-50 shot of winning any game. They're not locked in on any game against a team that's got some talent. And by the way, the Bengals are going to be a tough out, especially if Burrow's going to be healthy. They improved the offensive line as well. And if they get that going again, that's a tough out. The Bucks are a team that will end up beating them because the Steelers won't be able to finish it. And say whatever you want about the quarterback over in the Bucks, that guy figures out how to get a game at the end of the game against a team they probably should not beat. And in reality, if you look at that, they probably shouldn't beat the Bucks.
Well, here, Anthony, let me ask you this. Outside of the Falcons, the Browns, and I'll just say Colts, who else do you think they're going to beat between the Patriots, Bengals, or the Bucks?
Right.
I mean, if it comes down to that, they could possibly be. Burrows could be injured by week 3. Let's just be honest.
It just
Okay.
depends.
He could be out with a shoulder injury by preseason. So, they could beat the Bengals. I mean, it ain't like the Bengals aren't beatable, but depending where the game's at, also. But the Patriots
are tough out on any game.
That's a tough out. And like Sonny said, Baker Mayfield, he's a hard out.
That dude finds a way to win sometimes at the end when you don't think they should. When you're watching the game, you're going, how the hell is he going to pull? Oh, he just did it. He did pull it out. Son of a bitch.
By the way, Baker Mayfield, most successful OU quarterback to play in the pros?
I can't think of any of the other ones. And if he were, I should be able to remember him. So I think I'll say yes. I can't think.
I'm not including Troy Aikman, who spent 2 years at OU because he finished at UCLA.
He's a UCLA guy. Everybody knows him as a UCLA guy. That's where he had his most success in college, in reality.
Right. That's because he threw the ball there.
Right. Exactly.
But okay, Kyler Murray, obviously more successful than Kyler. Damn. I'm drawing a blank on the quarterbacks.
I can't remember any of them having any impact, or I might be missing an obvious one and I just can't see it.
OU quarterbacks. You can take the driver down.
He says I'll take it down in when I feel like it. The guy from the Titans. Who's the guy from the Titans? Was he from Oklahoma?
Oh, well, there's Caleb Williams who was there for a second. Can't call him more successful than Baker Mayfield though. Sam Bradford.
Bradford came out of Oklahoma. Yeah.
He came out of there, yeah.
And that one's tough. That one I feel bad about.
Jalen Hurts, he came out of OU, while he finished in Alabama. Dylan Gabriel, you know about his situation.
Cam Ward. Ward didn't come from Oklahoma, though.
No.
He came from Florida or something like that.
I'm looking here to see Landry Jones, who didn't really have the great pro career. Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler. So yeah, Baker's probably it.
Yeah, he's definitely been the most successful, and not only that, part of a controversy because he should be a Brown, man. I'm telling you right now, the guy should be a Brown. All right, I'll put that down. He should be a Brown. He should be leading them into being. And then Garrett would still be on that football team. I just think they really missed out. With the Baker Mayfield thing, as far as that.
It worked out well for Baker because for about a year he got the one under Tom Brady. So good for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were thinking about him kind of the same way you were thinking about Sam Darnold. Will they ever take that step up and be the team that needs to go there? And I think he should, but we kind of talked about this last week. I don't think
as of right now he's not. No, it's gonna be Deshaun Watson.
And
as much as it breaks Obi's heart.
No, I think Obi has accepted the fact that Sanders should
never
be the
accept
starter.
The fact that Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback.
But he hates them as much as I hate Brian Hoyer. and Obi hated Brian Hoyer for a while too. So there you go.
Oh, by the way, me and Cuervo have been talking about who will be the first ever Sonny Clark Hall of Famer. And during Hall of Fame week, hopefully, if we have a show that
When
week,
am I doing that, by the way? When am I doing that?
I'm telling you, shut up. During the NFL Hall of Fame week, we will announce your Hall of Famer. You don't know who it is, so
I don't know who it is.
No, you will never know who it is until we're going to load him on you. You guys are going to
do it.
Yes, this is not about you, sir.
Wait.
I mean, it's about you, but it's not really about you.
I was going to say, I thought this was my show. Yeah, definitely. Well, by the way, I love that graphic. I love that.
You can change out the Sonny Clark part and put Sonny Guy Hall of Famer. Yeah,
you do. You got the. Evidently, you got it put together. I haven't messed around. They have to be basic graphics. I haven't been deep into it, mainly because I'm just too damn tired. I don't know. But that being said, so those 5 teams, they're and arguably these are borderline playoff teams, by the way, arguably the borderline. So that being said, then when we were looking at these, it's all going to have a lot to do with the quarterback position. You're going to have that. So Patrick Mahomes signs the $500 million deal.
The richest deal ever.
Yep. And which, by the way, congratulations. And by the way, those that don't think that Patrick Mahomes is or they think he's going to fall on his face, I just don't get that from him. Now, how the team is put together, that could be a big question. But when you look at it, the 2 quarterbacks that we have been talking about for the last 3 years is Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford. These are the guys that have been kind of cleaning up, as you can say. See, but I can only copy and save it. But yeah, I'll do that. So, that being said, where was I?
I'm
doing that 2 things at once. Oh yeah, the Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. I love me some Jared Goff. I love the fact that he's up there and he's been doing what he's doing. But Joe Burrow, remember the last 3 years, this dude has been injured. Could you imagine if he went through a whole season? I mean, and this is 67 games. Look at that number, 67 games. And he's not very far behind those dudes.
I wonder if he can imagine if he can go through a full season.
I don't know. I don't know what he needs to do to stay healthy, but by God, they need to figure it out.
Wrap his ass in bubble wrap.
Yeah. Or put him in one of those big round things that bounce, where they put people in the middle and bounce them around in. I forget what those are called, but
snow outfits.
All right, a random thing here. UFC 250 tonight at the White House lawn. 30-mile-an-hour winds, mosquitoes.
Let's take on the graphics so we can talk about it.
You give me 2 seconds. You're worse than you're worse than my wife when we were driving. Give me 2 seconds to get my foot off the gas. Like, damn. Give me 2 seconds. All right. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm glad he brought it up. It's me. Everybody knows how I feel about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I just, the idea of this just, first of all, makes 0 sense. And then the second of all, why? I just don't get. I don't get it. I don't even know why this is happening when they can play in a nice building right down the way and build the 250 around it in a different building. Why does that? Well, it's because of him.
You know why?
It's got to be him. It's got to be something. And here's the thing: when you're Donald Trump, it doesn't matter if it's a flop. You'll blame it on somebody else. But if it does take off, he'll take full credit for the damn thing. Yeah. So that being said, I don't I don't keep up with UFC. I don't know who's fighting. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad. The only thing I know about UFC is Dana White, and Dana is in the back of Donald Trump's pocket. So that's just the kind of thing.
Which
I
sadly
couldn't
enough, which sadly
put
enough,
that on.
so is the WWE because
Well,
Triple
yes,
H,
but
Stephanie, and
hold on.
then
They're trying not to make it too obvious.
right. But here's the thing: there's nothing more white trash than having human cockfighting in front of the White House, and and trying to have motocross guys jumping over fucking ramps in front of the White House. There's nothing more that trashes up our country than taking the sweet monument of the White House, what it is, and putting more shit there that need to be there. I'm sorry.
When they got half the building still in demolishing stage.
Was it at the MCI Center?
Huh?
Was it the MCI Center?
No, the White House where he tore down the white half that or the third of the White House, and supposedly we're not paying for that.
Look, Donald Trump is big into building stuff, right? He's big into putting his name on stuff. How about instead of putting your name on an actual existing landmark, build up your own fucking building, the Donald Trump Center.
Well, no, he's going to get that. Where are they putting that? They're putting it in Florida. Every president has one.
Yeah,
put it on that building.
Well, this is my question: will he get a library? Does he already have a library? Because don't all presidents have their own library in their own?
I don't know. They got a pretty good library in the prison, guys. If you honestly think that Donald Trump is going to prison, you need to drink. Can I have a whatever you're smoking? That guy ain't gonna spend 2 seconds in jail.
No,
I don't know why everybody's so on that. They're just so oblivious to what the hell's going on.
I'm more baffled by the people who were originally on the damn card to perform. They sat there and went, yeah, no. You didn't know that he was
all
not
of them.
For all that.
All
Just
of them.
All except for Kid Rock and Vanilla Ice, two of the most popular people out there, and he was okay.
Well, Vanilla Ice said, I don't care as long as you're paying me. I don't give a shit. I have no political things. If you're going to hand over a check, I'll be there. And I get why people wouldn't want to do it, but he lost. I think Trump is still in Vegas. Trump, but the Trump Plaza, I think, is still there too. He's still, I think they're both there. I think they are. I wouldn't necessarily know. I'd have to look it up, and believe me, the less thinking I do about Donald Trump, the better for me. So it's just but anyway, all right. So that being said, now
that's a human cockfighting at the White House. Tune
in. Human cockfighting. That's beautiful, beautiful. All right, now then we'll do this because I do got to go. Here's the contender list. We briefly talked about it, but I don't remember what you said about this. So that's the reason why I brought it up. I remember what everybody else said. I don't know if I was just ignoring you or trying to do two things at once. Yeah, it's probably doing two things at once. I actually do listen to you sometimes. Anyway,
ungrateful bastard.
Yeah. Playoff locks. Oh, no. You weren't very big on the Houston Texans in the playoff.
I wasn't big on the Bengals
either. Gotcha. But I think the Jaguars are not a playoff lock. They're a contender. I don't even know if they're dangerous. The Jaguars have had some losses. Losing Lloyd is just oh my God, that's just a big loss, and they have to figure out how to grow from losing that guy. And listen, the Jaguars never had to learn to win after they lost the guy. They just always sucked. So they need to learn how to win after losing vital pieces offensively as well. So I think that one's there. But as far as your Dallas Cowboys, I meant to say this last week. They're not playoff contenders. They're dangerous. They're a dangerous football team based upon what I'm going to go as far as paper is concerned on the defensive side of the ball, because they did improve big time. It wasn't just a little improvement. They did really good on the defensive side of the ball, Popfather.
Well, here's the thing. I understand why they're saying playoff contender because they weren't in the conversation at all last year
No.
because they didn't have the defense. So them having the defense this year possibly puts them as a contender. Does it make them a borderline dangerous team? Sure, but I think Kansas City, the Packers, the Lions, and even the Niners, for that matter. You know, I mean, I might put the Niners down as a contender more than a dangerous team, especially coming from the West, because you're going to have a couple powerhouses coming out of the West with the Rams and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But I can see where the Niners.
The Seahawks can duplicate what they did. Yes.
I can see now. I would think the Buccaneers might be a more dangerous team, but I still don't see until Dallas does anything defensively that's really worth the shit. I wouldn't put them as a dangerous team yet, because again, if you can still score 35 points on them, that ain't dangerous.
You think about the Denver Broncos front runner. Sean Payton just got a new contract. They extended him out 5 more years. But I think they did that a year too early. I want to see what they would do this year before I did exactly what they're saying. Yeah,
and the graphic shows that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know. I don't know how anybody can say that as far as that and the Falcons. I don't. Yeah.
You know what? Because somebody has to win the South.
Yeah, but well, no, that'd be the front runner for that are the Bucks. I mean, they're going to win that.
Yeah, but at the same time, Carolina, the Falcons, and the Bucks.
Yeah, all 3 South teams are playoff contenders.
They might be the 3 of the same teams.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that. I don't know. I need some help. Move the Vikings down there, because you don't know what the Kyler Murray thing is. I know in my mind what I think it's going to be. It's all going to be all the same.
You just don't like short quarterbacks.
No, I don't like Kyler Murray. Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, no. Hold on. Okay, let me say this way. I'm going to pull that down. Kyler Murray isn't worth his hype that he's got his whole career. And I find it very interesting why Bryce won't step down and just say this guy is not a good quarterback. I don't get it, because he's not. He hasn't proved that he is. He hasn't. Huh?
He played with the Cardinals. I mean, it wasn't like they were front runners.
Yes and no.
No, yes, he played for the Cardinals. Yeah.
Yes, he played for the Cardinals, but he was supposed to be the reason why. Listen, the Cardinals weren't I'll take away from last year. The Cardinals were not necessarily the worst team in the NFL. The problem is they're playing in a division where 3 teams are going to romp them almost every single time they play because of who's at the quarterback position, because they're bound and determined to say this guy was our guy. Well, finally they let the guy go. Well, they better do something quick, because right now Gardner Minshew is their starting freaking quarterback, okay? And that tells you where the Arizona Cardinals are as a franchise and what they are. But as far as Kyler Murray over in Minnesota, we talk about when they go to a different Baker Mayfield's your classic example of that lately, going to a different team and turning his career around per se, and helping a football team become competitive.
Well,
and
that's going to be
I don't know if he's got that. I don't know if he has that ability to do that. I just don't.
Well, this may be the biggest question: will he be able to start in Minnesota?
Well,
are they much more? Are they much more invested in their young quarterback?
no, that right. Everything I've read that is Murray's going to start that up there, and JJ is just going to be, one of those casualties of war. I mean, yeah, it happens, especially at the quarterback position. JJ McCarthy can walk around. I don't know if he's married or anything. I'm an NFL quarterback, and you go, "What's your name?" They don't know who he is. I mean, because he hasn't had that success of, Now, was the potential there? Yes. Now, is it the coach? Don't think so. Look what he did with Sam Darnold, turned him around. This guy can't stay healthy enough to figure out whether or not we can say, "Hey, JJ McCarthy is going to be a good quarterback." Yeah,
Okay.
got the puppy in the back.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out.
But there, put that. There we go. Now, so JJ McCarthy is in one of these weird positions. I don't know if he's going to be named the starter. We can sit there and talk about that. But I think they go there, and he is not necessarily. That's the argument. By the way, that is the argument. Is Jacoby Brissett the starter? I'm just trying to find it. He's going to talk himself out of a starting program. He's going to talk himself out of a starting quarterback position in Arizona because he wants a new contract. And that's what it's going to come down to.
He's kind of earned a new contract for last year, though.
Huh?
He earned a new contract for last year.
Depending on what you think. Now, if you want that to be games won, he didn't. You want to talk about his production? Yes, his production was much better. And yeah, if you want to give him that, but really,
but it also comes down to who was a better team leader in the huddle, right?
Well,
and guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. who got better opportunities with Brissett than he ever did with
no question. No question.
So I mean, if you're putting a lot of your eggs in your one basket with Marvin Harrison Jr., you want to have guys who give him the ball.
Well, they got a tight end. I think his name is McCabe or something like that. That he's a superstar in the making. He's going to be a Kelsey kind of player. If they can get, but that all just goes. You got to deliver the damn ball. If you can't deliver the damn ball, Marvin Harrison and McBride ain't going to do jack for you at all. So you got to find someone who can consistently deliver the ball. But at the same time, that means absolutely nothing if you can't win football games. Look at Baker Mayfield. He didn't do it with all flashy. He just figured out how to win football games. He got the ball to where they needed to go to. And that's whoever's going to start for this football team.
Speaking of, you take away Mike Evans from the Bucs, you're kind of screwed.
By the way, where did he go? I forget. Did he go to the Raiders?
That sounds about right, but shit, what's the name again? I forget.
Evans.
Mike Evans, right? Okay. Mike Evans. He's currently with the Niners.
That's actually a pretty good place for him. Now that you say that. All right. So I got to get out of here.
You want to talk more?
Guys, huh?
You want to talk more? We're just not getting our football feels here. We went through an hour of wrestling and like a little bit of the UFC. So we touched all the combat sports and human cockfighting can handle. Now we're talking football, and you want to leave?
I gotta leave.
Why do you gotta leave? What do you gotta go?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Don't pull me on me.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll figure it out. No, I got some things to do. It's main. By the way, you see my Phoenix Roadrunner picture? That's badass. I'll show it to you next time after I figure out what happened after I put you in my damn software and I gotta fix it. I don't know what the hell that was, but
It's tough being the champ. I'm sorry. It's just it is what it is.
This guy's messaging me. This some 89 loves our stream, and I get what it is.
You trying to sell us on his new phone?
No, I think it's an internet hoe.
An internet hoe?
Yeah, internet hoe. Yeah, that's what I call them. Those. What's it? What's that thing called? Where they go and they do nudies and you gotta sign up for them.
We can't sign up for it here. Right here on the Coast State Sports Show?
Yeah.
We're to ourselves. We have nobody else. Come on, give us a minute. Come on.
Something.
Not a view, but I mean,
only fans.
Oh, that's what we need. Only fans.
Oh, I think
come see Sonny's feet.
No, that's what I think this is. Anyway. All right. We're out of here.
Everybody tune into OnlyFans with Sonny as he shows you his feet.
I love it. You just gotta know. That's all I gotta say. You just gotta know. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Thank you, Anthony, for making me laugh as I get out of here. I appreciate that. But all right,
you think he's getting out of here? We're going to keep him here for a little longer. We got another hour to go.
No, I'm about ready to push the button on you. So that's where it's. Yes,
don't push the button.
Here's the button. It's gone.
Motherfucker!
You try to keep.